Number 19 and number 20 are very similar. So number 19 here, I want to solve for the x. So first thing I want to do is I want to isolate this portion. So we're really doing PEMDAS backwards. We're starting on this side. Is there any outside adding or subtracting that I can eliminate? And there is. So opposite of subtracting 15 is adding 15. So I add 15 to the opposite side. Don't forget the negative sign. I go back to this part, what I have left over, and now I'm going to do PEMDAS backward again. There's no adding or subtracting left over on the outside, but there is multiplying. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. I divide both by 3. Now remember, this really is the nth root. Okay, it's a cube root of 3, nth root of 3, written as a 1/3. So how do I now eliminate the 1/3? I'm going to raise it to the reciprocal of 3 over 1 to both sides. Okay, and we think they eliminate, but in reality we get 3 over 3, and which is 1. And so we just are able to bring down the 2x minus 7 because a 1 outside does not change anything. And now I'm going to use a calculator, and I'm going to put in parentheses negative 125, and I'm going to raise it to the 3rd power. This is the answer I get. How do we then solve for x? I'm going to add 7 to the opposite side and divide by 2. How can we make sure this is correct? We can take this value, take it times 2 and subtract 7 and raise it to the 1/3 power, then multiply by 3 and subtract 15, or you can graph the left side, graph the right side, okay? And we're looking to make sure that this is where they cross. In my mind, that's not going to be so easy because you're going to have to adjust your calculator all the way out to where the x's are this really large number. So it's much easier to grab the calculator and do so. I'm going to take 2 times the quantity, negative 976,559. Let me move it down so you can see. And from there, I'm going to subtract 7 and get an answer. Now I'm going to raise that to the 1/3. And then I'm going to multiply and subtract 15. And I do end up with a negative 390, which means this is the correct answer. Similar for number 20. This is in radical exponent form. This is in rational exponent form. So it's the same thing as me putting a radical and a little tiny 5 as the nth root. Same concept. First I'm going to start by doing PEMDAS backwards. So I subtract the 5, divide by negative 4. How do I eliminate the 1/5? I raise it to the reciprocal, which is 5. These simplify to a 1, and negative 2 times itself 5 times is negative 32. Add 2 to get negative 30. Again, we could plug it into the calculator, but where they intersect would be all the way over where x is negative 30. I think it's much easier to grab your calculator, type in negative 30, subtract 2, raise it to the 1/5, take it times negative 4, and then add 5. I do end up with 13. That is the correct answer.